Hello there. Welcome to the I Am Ransom vlog. I am Ransom, and guess what? Today, the day you're watching this anyways, is the 65th day that I've been on YouTube. I am telling myself today, good job. Good job for getting over yourself. Good job for learning a little bit more about being on camera, a little bit more about the process of YouTube, what it is to be a creator on YouTube, to put your unpolished, rough type video production out. Hopefully, one of the things that I have been doing is looking at this footage like game tape and trying to just learn what I want to put on video, what I don't want to. So far, I've literally put up everything that I've recorded. Maybe a couple things, of course, I've edited out, but for the most part, I have, put up everything that I recorded, going and seeing things, doing things. I put it all up, and I see all the flaws. I don't know who's looking at these videos. Not a lot of comments. I mean, I appreciate the people who are commenting. I've been asking a couple different people, give me your opinions, give me your feedback, because I'm trying to get other people's. What are you seeing? Are you seeing the same thing? Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? And I've had some good feedback, but I'm not getting, a whole bunch of negative feedback. I think I like negative feedback better than positive, because negative I can trust, because you don't care. If you tell me, if you're a friend and you're like, bro, you look like this, or you're sounding like that, or this is what it is, I can accept that. Positive feedback, cool, man. I do appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I think what it is I'm looking at myself. When I see myself in the camera, I'm looking at myself and saying, man, you look like a sloth on the Goonies. You know what I mean? Like, that's, you need to pull it together. You need to do a better presentation. You need to get that audio better. Obviously, I do know video production. Like, I was thinking the other day, I was like, somebody watching these videos hears that I say I do video production, like, yeah, are you sure you do video production? Because, it's pretty rough. But I think I'm doing that on purpose to kind of start at just the base level. I'm also doing it because, for me, one of the reasons that I didn't want to get on YouTube for years, when I saw other people doing it, when I saw people that I followed doing it, was simply because I knew there would be a lot of work. And trying to make that high quality video production is, it's not easy. And, just until a couple years ago, there wasn't video cameras that would do all the work for you as they do today. They have been doing the work for you for a long time. But a big giant camera, carrying it around and vlogging in order to get that high quality, I just didn't want to do that. So yeah, I think I'm putting these notes down for myself. I appreciate you watching as well. And standing in this little building, this is not my house, this is a building somewhere in New Mexico. And ultimately what I'm doing is just, putting it down. 65 days on YouTube, learning about the process and learning about the analytics and how YouTube counts views, how YouTube moderates different things. It's all interesting. It's all a learning lesson. It's definitely, it's good stuff. I appreciate it. One of the things that, talking about video production, talking about, knowing what quality is and knowing what bad quality is, I think when you're talking about perfection within video production, or within anything really, the concept of perfection, I think it's just that. It's a concept. I think it's a goal. It's a striving for doing better. So when I'm looking at trying to do perfect or perfection, a long time ago I dropped that when I started doing indie film for a living. I'm working on 19 and 20 right now as far as indie films are concerned. I dropped the goal of perfection when you're doing a 90-minute or a 70, 80, 90-minute movie, and you're doing it on shoestring budgets or whatever the budget the person has that you're working with or working for. I dropped the concept of perfection a long time ago But I understand the word perfection to be something you strive for. I want to do better. I want to do higher quality. I want to fix it in post. Not a good concept if you're trying to fix it in post. Those are famous last words for things that never go right. But yeah, I think that trying to do things perfect on YouTube or anywhere, but I'm talking video right now, is not something that you accomplish, because there's always somebody that will come along that either has a better eye, that has a different vision, or even just has a critical spirit, a critical mindset. They just walk around, critiquing everything. They critique God, like, God, you're not doing it right. And so at the end of the day, I think the concept of perfection to me has went out the window a long time ago, but I do definitely see all the steps of building a better program, a better show, a better vlog. You can't really do better than just sharing yourself. So if you're doing a vlog and you're just sharing your day, and if you're not trying to do a production per se, if you're not trying to do like a show, or you're not even trying to grow your YouTube channel, you're just doing this as like a therapy almost, I totally get that, because I've seen it in my own life over the last 65 days tomorrow, 64 today. But ultimately, yeah, I see that doing this production stuff on camera and all that good stuff is one thing, but doing vlogging is literally just talking to the camera. Of course, there's people who coach you of how to talk to a camera. If I'm actually talking to this camera, this just looks like a one-eyed little robot, and I'll have to put a little video or a picture, because I made my one-eyed robot, this little camera I'm using, look like Don King. I put some hair on it, a windscreen, customized it so that when I'm out here in this wind, it won't be as bad. Hasn't worked perfectly, it's worked better. But anyways, yeah, I think that shooting for progress for me in this vlogging is one thing. But after I get this channel monetized, my goal for the channel is to get it monetized. I think I'm at 2,400 hours and then got a lot of subscribers. I've been promoting, I've been sharing, I've been, asking people to subscribe. I've been, all that good stuff. And I feel like I've done pretty good in that sense. But I'm not happy with it because I'm impatient, I think. I think with productions, usually I have a check at the end of the rainbow. We have a set dates, and we have a schedule, and we have, a script, and we have all of these things. With YouTube, I have a schedule, I have a concept of a schedule, but I don't really have, I don't want to make it boring. I don't want to make it boring for myself. I want to enjoy this process as much as I can. So I'm thinking of things that I want to do. I did take a trip to El Paso and cut that into multiple videos. That's probably not something I'd like to do in the future. Maybe it will be necessary though, just because of the budgets, on this YouTube thing. So anyways, I'm just sitting here, plan to do a 10-minute little rant, 10-minute little kind of update on what it is. But I think what I wanted to say too is just a little word of encouragement for anybody who's been doing this longer than I have, who's seen the ups and downs, who maybe was striving for perfection, or was striving for a better result, or was striving for monetization, or any of those things. One of the things that I think I'd like to share about YouTube, and this is for me, again, putting kind of the stake in the ground at day 65, so I can come back and look at this one day. Maybe I'll look at it, maybe I won't. Was simply that YouTube is television. And television is something that I've worked in for a long time. Not in the national level. I have done national, I've done international, but mostly on a local, regional, statewide type level. But I've studied, I've always been interested in the business of television and how it works with, producing one show or a series of shows, a season, and then that goes on and on to live, in streaming and distribution nowadays. And with television, if every one of us, people that are putting our face and our likeness and doing a YouTube vlog or doing whatever we do, not the guys that are doing podcasts with real budgets and all of that, so they're using the platform in my opinion, very correctly of what YouTube wanted it to be a long time ago. It's taken this long for the acceptance. When I say this long, I mean in the last 5, 6, 7 years, you've seen people just kind of really see it as a television network. And now everybody's literally saying YouTube is turning into television. I think YouTube from the very beginning was supposed to be television. It just took a long time for the adoption of people that wanted to make it a career. I mean, now, because of the success of vloggers who have been doing it for 10, 12, 15 years, even longer, because of the Mr. Beasts, obviously, there's a lot of people that see the success and now they want to go for it. And obviously, if you're a one-man crew, if you're holding the camera, you're talking to it, you're doing your thing, you're hearing a phone in the background, then at the end of the day, what it comes down to is you have to be a television network. You have to think like a television network does. And a television network, obviously, we all know, we've seen all of the sponsored shows and all of the sponsored vlogs on YouTube. That has to have that sponsorship, has to have that money. So it doesn't have to have a sponsorship, your vlog or my vlog or any of these things. We all want the commercial money. We would like to get the merch sales. We like all these things. And we've seen people successfully do this over the years. And I think that's what it is. We're kind of just following the footsteps of people that we're watching, and we're kind of feeling it out. That's how I feel right now. But when I stopped myself the other day, I was like, you know what? I know television. I know the business model. I know I've done hundreds of television episodes and literally sold my own sponsorships. One of my earlier videos says how I got started. That video talks about, how I just got started in this really small, small community, small television, but I learned the business and I made my living for a long time off of creating. I'm just now jumping into YouTube. Again, origin story, January 1st, 2026. You can go back and watch that video. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it because I think that YouTube being television, YouTube format being television, the coolest thing is you don't have to be a television creator, producer. You don't even have to have that goal. You can just simply be a person that wants to put their thoughts, wants to put their video diary. And, Adam, one of the YouTubers I watched for a long time, that's what his goal was. That's what his thing was. He also wanted to do things and go travel and do all this stuff and document it, and did very well with it because he, for 15 years put his life on camera, and there's a lot of people still doing that. But I wonder if it's discouraging to other people. I wonder if it's discouraging to you. If you've been doing YouTube and you want that YouTube money, you want that merch money, you want the sponsorship money, if you're that person still. Maybe you started there and you just kind of gave up and you said, you know what, I'm not going to ever make it. YouTube algorithm doesn't like me. No one likes me. Or what? I don't know what you're going through. But if that is true and you are actually going through that, I'm not laughing at you. I'm actually saying that's the cool thing about YouTube. You don't have to have a performance, right? You don't have to get the sponsors, get the money, get the accomplishment. You can literally just do video production, the vlogs, and obviously you know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm really kind of just putting it down that this is a platform that shares the possibility, the ability to become one of the largest YouTubers, production companies, television stations in the world, because it's worldwide. And then you have also the ability to just be like, I'm going to talk to my 11 friends that I have, or 10 friends, or 15 or 20 or 50 people that come back and just have that social time while you are figuring it out. And I think that's so cool. For me personally, and I think it's because I do video production for a living and have for so long, I think I feel this urge to get somewhere. I got to get here, and have all these goals. And I don't think that's bad for me personally, because I already know my character, myself, and I know that I need to have that carrot before the horse. Is it a horse or is it a mule? I don't even know. But carrot before the horse mentality, where it's like I gotta get up in the morning to have that goal, right? And I think as men we have that thing, but a lot of people have their family, that's their goal. A lot of people have their health or their struggles or whatever you got going in your life, and that's your goal. That's the thing that gets you up, and then this thing of YouTube gives you that little bit of freedom, or that little bit of like release, or that little bit of like, I'm going to document this and get this out of my brain. I just need to talk about it. And YouTube is given that ability to do it. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good platform to be able to do that. I think obviously you can give too much information and probably regret it later on. And, that might happen to me one day, like, oh, I regret saying this or saying that, but at the end of the day, being able to have a television network, I think, is an opportunity for me to do some of those things that I've always wanted to do creation-wise. It's a lot more of a gamble, especially if you're not monetized or you don't have any sponsors or you don't know where you're going with the actual business side of it. Because for me, the show business is just that. It's business. And I don't know. I just wanted to kind of get on camera and talk. I've been wanting to talk about this 65 days of hard work. I mean, this is hard. It's not easy. And you guys that are doing the videos, your own videos that you're either shooting, 10 days and then editing over 30 or 60 days and putting them out over months, or people that are doing the daily vlog lifestyle. I mean, there's some hardworking people that I've been watching, and I'm like, man, I'm not the only one doing this, and that's an encouragement. But at the end of the day, getting that television production done, getting it shot, finished, some of the visions that I have for, this channel once it's monetized is, obviously it could be, and I can say I have a couple tricks up my sleeve kind of things, but I can play those 2 cards, 3 cards, whatever ideas I got, and be like, okay, I had, 10 views, 5, 20 views, 30 views. Or it could be that I'm building with the algorithm. I'm understanding what YouTube converting into television means. And maybe I do hit on a certain level. I don't know what that even means, because I know the numbers of just the advertising dollars need to be super numbers. I mean, you got to get millions of views. I'm not saying I don't believe that can happen. YouTube probably has some talent scouts out there. I think there's probably people, this is how I look at it. And I'm going to try to fit this in the last minute of this video. But I think that there's 300,000 that the algorithm picks up on. These are potential people worldwide. And then I think there's 30,000 that the algorithm's saying, okay, these are the ones rising to the top. These are the ones doing, consistent work. And then I think there's, from that 30,000, 3,000 that actually begin to be courted by YouTube, and then YouTube's pumping up some of their videos and promoting them. Maybe that's because of a certain demographic, a certain age group, a certain niche. Obviously, people talk about that all the time. But then I think those top 300 on YouTube are the ones that, it's almost like a business deal with YouTube. You've almost signed a contract. It's almost like doing business with a studio. You're going to get promotion. Your videos are going to be out there, and you probably have some meetings, sit-down meetings, where you say, hey, let's talk about how we can guarantee X amount of millions of views. If we do X, you do X, there you go. But anyways, just been a quick little rant. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for listening, putting up with this talk. We'll talk to you later. Have a great rest of the day.